Hello, Internet. I'm me, and this is not a Tokusatsu review. I know I've been gone for a very long time. I have missed, well, reviews-wise, I have missed a lot of episodes of both Kyojin Sentai Kyoryuja and Kamen Rider Wizard. And I'm actually here to review Elysium. But, but, I will give you what I think on both Kyoryuja and Kamen Rider Wizard as of now. As of now, I think Kamen Rider Wizard is just spinning its goddamn wheels. Honestly, the whole thing where when I left off, I actually had a bit of hope for the series, but once he hit his whole, when Haruto hit his whole, let's get more rings phases, I've kind of tuned out. Most of the episodes were pretty much standard or kind of good fair where things just pretty much happened on a continuously predictable loop. And I kind of saw Kayomi being the daughter of the big bad or the white mage the entire time. I'm going to call it now. I think that the wise man and the white wizard are the same dude. Maybe. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just taking a wild guess for students in Kyoryuja. Oh, students in Kyoryuja. When does it not make me happy? It has a few hiccups. Yes, it's been having a few hiccups. A little few things where I'm like, really, you're gonna choose that, or really, we're gonna go with this. Okay, but you know what? I have not been dissatisfied with Kyoryuja whatsoever. It's a fun, really good Sentai that has been going on for just love how long it's been going on. Every time I actually have a bad day or even a bad week, I just plop on Judas into Kyuuter, especially the newer episodes. Hell, I was sitting in a DMV earlier this week and I got to watch the new episode. And god damn it, that was the best time I've ever had in a DMV. It literally made my mood go up about 3 levels, and I got to enjoy the time I had in a DMV. How many people can say that? Anyway, that's my view on those, and I will be continuing reviews after this as the original format allotted. But for now, let's get back to Elysium. Ah, yes, Elysium. You're probably wondering, well, if what time did you watch this? I watched it at midnight. This was actually a movie that I was really looking forward to and was hoping that was really good. And is it? Kinda. It's not amazing. It's pretty good. Um, Let me start out with the positives here. Visuals, stunning. Creativity with the technology, amazing. Actually, based on a lot of the technology and scientific know-how that is actually going to be in the next few years, actually. It's more advanced stuff that are conceptually brought up nowadays in the scientific community and technology. It's really cool to see that sci-fi. I just like seeing sci-fi that is actually being influenced by actual science. It actually gives it the real science fiction feel. Story was pretty good until the end. I'll get to that. Characters, half were good, other half were bad because they were one note like shit. Um, well, one was 1.5 note, and I'll get to that too. But the other one was one note. What else? Oh, what else is good? Uh, some of the cinematography was amazing, but so the other part of the cinematography is bad. And I'll get, you know what? Time to get into the bad. Starting with the cinematography. Fucking shaky cam. I'm sick of this crap. Alright? Every time in a fight scene or when someone's running, no one can just hold the fucking camera still. Put it on a track and move it forward. When Matt Damon is running behind a car, I'll show you. This is how the camera should track. This is how the camera tracks in Elysium. did it? Oh shit. Live, everyone. But yeah, I that is annoying, especially in when you're trying to watch a character move from one part of the screen to another, or watch a fight scene, a very well choreographed fight scene, but it's ruined when you can't see half the shit because the camera's shaking around like a bastard. Okay, another bad thing. Characters. Okay, we have Matt Damon as Max. The only character I can remember his name because his name is Max. It's a simple fucking name to remember. You won't remember his name. You'll probably remember his name. And that's only because of two things. Hold on, let me fix this camera. I kind of fucked it up once I did that. Anyway, you'll probably remember him because his name's simple to remember, but his character's pretty cool. I like the character. It's not anything groundbreaking and new. He's just an ex-con who's, trying to get out of the game. He has that one last job to do, and it all goes south, and then he goes on an adventure, blah, blah, blah. Redemption story. Pretty simple. Then you have his love interest, Frey. Um, only reason I remember her is because she's the only other woman in the movie other than Jodie Foster. She's a mother and a nurse. She stitches up Matt Damon one time. That's all I can say. She has a daughter who tells a story that one time. That's it. Other than that, they serve absolutely no purpose in the movie. They're not as inspiration for Matt Damon to get up to Elysium because he was going to go there anyway. Uh, Spoilers from this point on. But before we hit into spoilers, let me just say this was a good movie. It could have been a great movie, and I'm going to get into why it could have been a great movie now. All right. So if you want to go see it and not have anything spoiled, just remember it was a good movie. Could have been better. It could have been great, but it was a good movie. So go see it. It's good, fine. But I wish it could have been better, and this is why it could have been better. Son of a bitch, the ending. Okay. One more character, Kruger. This secret agent, sleeper agent, bad guy who's the Joker, militant Joker who wants to be a dad. He's probably when I said one of the characters is a 1.5 note character, this is who I'm talking about because they give him characteristics of a different type of character. They usually show him as this crazy psychotic bastard, and then they throw in little parts where he's kind to children and wants to be a father figure and sings lullabies to children. And they never follow up on it. We never learn anything about Cougar. We never learn about his past. We never learn about who he was or anything like that. We just learn that he's a psychotic killer who is nice to kids. Yeah, sure, 1.5. Then you have Jodie Foster's character. Insane political bitch. Done. One note character. Go on. Then you have this spider. This guy who's a hacker who gets Matt Damon his exoskeleton suit. He's a hacker. Oh, and he's Mexican, Spanish, whatever. He all his lines are barked out like he looks like a fucking human chihuahua. He really does. It's like every time he says his lines, he touches his head like this. And it's to a point where because he has a Spanish, he has a Latino accent, and how he moves, you're pretty much watching a human chihuahua. Like you know how a chihuahua barks, it's like yeah, yeah, like that. It's literally that. So you can't help but think that, and he never stops doing it ever. Like every line is like that. Oh, and there's also the president of Elysium. He gets about a few lines. But that's it. You would think being the president of Elysium, you'd be more important, but no, no. And that's another thing I don't like about this movie. Everyone on Elysium, they get no voice, aka because they're rich, they're the bad guys. That's it. No middle ground. No, they are humans too. Just no, they're rich, they're selfish, they don't give a shit, and nobody will be able to. We won't have a single character who's in Elysium actually speak up and be developed. You don't. The president is probably the closest to the most developed character in there, and they retcon that shit by the end. See, the president at one point gets on Jodie Foster because she blows up some ships of immigrants, and so the president gets on her about that and gets pissed and says that we shouldn't do that. You know I've had this immigration plan, the blah 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 blah. Jodie Foster's like, you're not strong enough to lead this place, and you know we need to be harder and meaner and rape people's asses. I guess I don't know, but you know, so like the president's being nice, and you think he has this plan. It seems like he has this plan to rejoin the people of Elysium and the resources of Elysium to Earth at some point, but you know, his cabinet around him is what's restricting him, or Jodie Foster just shooting down people and giving them bad PR is probably not helping. And so, with that in mind, hold that thought. Pin it, keep it for later. Alright, the mother and daughter, who are the most useless characters in this fucking movie, the reason they're so useless is because of the ending. The ending, they find, it turns out you can't get into Elysium without this code, or this program that says that you are a citizen of Elysium. If you're a citizen of Elysium, you can use the shit in Elysium. If you're not a citizen of Elysium, you get no shit. So, they have this program that restarts everything in Elysium. It makes everybody on Earth a citizen of Elysium and forces those Elysium bastards to give us our due. Now, you're probably saying, what's wrong with that? Here's my thing. You still have, and they've shown this with one of the CEO characters who dies, uh, that there are a lot of people in Elysium who do not respect nor care about the people on Earth. Because they can always just retreat back to Elysium. And it gives it a very trapped in the ivory tower phase, or ideal. And they never go around with this. They never talk about how some people, probably on Elysium, because people are being born on Elysium, and they even mention, it's like if you're born on Elysium. Well, what about those people who just grew up on Elysium? What do they know about the Earth? What do they know about the struggles on the Earth? They probably know nothing, right? And because it's still a democracy on Elysium, you have a president, you have a cabinet, you have Senate, and all these things, that majority rule would probably still work, right? So you would think with the president wanting it, and then the mother and daughter, there's a part where the daughter tells Matt Damon this story about like animals, and the meerkat can't get food, so it befriends a hippo because the hippo wants a friend, and the meerkat needs the food. The hippo helps out the meerkat to get food, and so you take that, and you take the president, and you're like, wait, wait, wait. So maybe the two can come together and help each other. So I was thinking before the end of the movie happened that Matt Damon had this program to rewrite everything, would stop and not rewrite the program, put it back right back the way it was to show all of Elysium. Yo, we Earth people, we're not all that bad. Now listen to me and tell them what's going on Earth. Tell them about the hardships and shit. And then the people of Elysium would find the humanity in their heart and actually go back and help the people of Earth, share the wealth and have an actual communication with people. And spoiler again, Matt Damon dies at the end of this movie. But in my imaginary ending, Matt Damon doesn't have to die. He can be a hero. He can be redeemed. He can actually accomplish what he wants without forcing an entire system because because once it's forced, the robots force themselves are forced to go help everybody on Earth. And so you could say, oh, well, then the rich people will learn to love the people on Earth. No, you still have that social divide. With that forceful ending, you still have this social divide. And the reason I'm harping on this ending so much is because of those 2 points. This movie seems like an earlier draft of the script was literally put out to actually have this middle of the road ending. This ending where the two social classes meet on a common plane of humanity and understanding and actually come together in the end. Because you aren't going to lose any action scenes or shit like that with this ending either. It's not that type of ending. You want to know why? Kruger is fucking insane. You're still gonna have him fighting. The people who came up to Elysium, most of them die before they get to the final end, where the reprogramming shit happens. You could have had all your action scenes, everything like that, and you could have kept this really intelligent ending. Something that frankly, everybody in this time where we have a lot of political and sociological divides, it could have shown that there is another way, that one does not need to force the other, but to save the earth, to save people, humanity in general, that you have to work together. And I thought in the sci-fi setting that was so well detailed, so well told, kind of crappy on the dialogue because I actually even heard a black guy say, "Yo, that's tight." Oh, that's the '90s. It called. It wants its line back. Fucking hell. Anyway, but from the guy from District 9, pretty much. Uh, it's obvious, he's against the poverty. He's against people just downtrodden. People who are downtrodden shouldn't be downtrodden on. Yes, and I'm sure. But I kind of there's a way around it, honestly, and so the forceful way only creates more of a divide. You see, that's where I'm getting at. Like this guy is smart, and I love his work. Well, I like his work, and I thought he would have tackled this in a different way. If there was an earlier draft of the script where they actually diplomatically figure this out and figure out a plan that in the long run would help everyone out, instead of this forceful, well, they can always just go back and reprogram it to where Elysium is again of exclusive place, which they can easily do, but they never bring that up because that would ruin the happy ending. It's just, ah, damn. That's just the thing I don't like about it. It's that it came so far in the beginning and in the middle, and it was pretty good. It was really good. It didn't shy away from gore. It had some pretty okay ideas, though it was really, really like take a baseball bat to your head on the whole thing of Elysium is really cool. They can heal everything. They're rich. We're poor. Isn't that sad? I mean, for serious, that was most of the movie. Because, again, Elysium has no voice. We don't get to see the families and people of Elysium. We get to see the people and families of Earth. They have their poor children, and oh, they're all diseased and hurt. And yeah, sure, that's sad and that's bad, but it's very heavy-handed. Very heavy-handed, and that's what I don't like about this too. And that's probably what brought it up. I thought if you're going to be this heavy-handed, if you're going to be, that you end where the person who technically was always in the right stays in the right, uh like again, like he enters in the program, is about to reprogram all of Elysium and says, I could, but I'm not going to, because they also have this thing where when Matt Damon was young, when Max was young, when he was an orphan, that he was with a nun, and the nun said, like, you look up at Elysium and see how beautiful it is. Think about this. They're going to look down on us and see how beautiful we are because you can see Earth from Elysium and it looks beautiful. And she says, don't forget where you came from. And I thought that he would have brought that up. You know, it's like, oh, dude, he'll bring that back up again at the end of the movie, just telling them that, yes, you may live on Elysium, but you came from Earth. And there are people on Earth, I'm going Will Smith, Earth, anyway, there are people on Earth who need your help. And bam, there's my ending again. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that. And that, I don't know, that just seems like the better ending. And the ending that seems to be the one that they've been building up to, and then they just drop it. There's a lot of things, that's a big problem with me. So there's my harp and my spoiler on all that. Again, movie is really good. I'd give it a. It's pretty good. It's not bad. It's great to see in IMAX. It's not in 3D. It is a great movie to see for the special effects. Special effects are amazing. Technology and science fiction creativity is all there. The gore and action, great. I have no problems with that. The acting could have been a bit better. The lines could have been a bit more polished. Other than that, they've created a beautiful world, great landscapes, and I just wish they ended it a bit more strongly than they did. So, until next time, y'all. Peace.